As Greece teeters towards bankruptcy, there's violent resistance to more cuts. This is a country where the economy is gasping for breath. In central Athens, workers fled as tear gas filled the air. The government needs to foist further austerity measures on a disillusioned public, if it's to avoid going bust next month. It is a scenario which is frightening leaders across the continent, as it could bring down the single currency, arming themselves with missiles to protect their pay and pensions. Greece does not look like a country where the government is in control. This 48-hour strike has closed ports, hospitals and schools, and despite one bets are not the answer.
If you don't give money to the people to keep the economy going, the economy will die.
They stole everything from Greek people and from Greek country.
We worked very hard all those years, and from the surplus value we have produced from our work, they've filled all those things and they've gained a lot. And when they say they mean the capitalists. It is their crisis, it is their problem, and they should solve it.
In Syntagma Square, a tent village has grown out of people's frustration. Michael is one of the many young Greeks struggling to find work.
Can you imagine the last 2 years very hard for everybody, for everyone here. I'm a counter and the last year I'm working like a taxi driver because I don't have a job now.
The vote on the austerity package will decide Greece's future. Without the reforms, the loans from the International Monetary Fund and the EU will be stopped. But these images will do their own damage, reinforcing the impression that Greece and its leaders have no chance of containing this crisis. Alex Rossi, Sky News, Athens.
These are the people most likely to be hit if the Greek government passes its new austerity measures. As the cabinet discussed cuts being agreed with foreign lenders, state employees marched to Parliament.
Now, obviously, on to more serious things. Greece is on fire. The Greek legislature, late last night, their time, when they hoped everybody was too tired to pay attention, they passed this austerity deal, this latest austerity deal with the European Union. And it triggered rioting and burning and protesting all over the place. An observer on the ground in Athens is saying the Greek people have gone to war against the system. They're burning down the banks. There was a report earlier that they've taken over a TV station, then media's gone silent. What we're seeing here in the United States of America is the corporate media is demonizing the Greek people. How dare they riot? How dare they protest? This is a legal decision by their government. They should just go along with it, and so forth and so on. The reality is, of course, that life for the people of Greece has just gotten worse because austerity is a fancy word meaning you must make do with less so the bankers can have more. And basically, the Greek people did not agree to any of this debt. Remember, the previous administration had this little clandestine deal with Goldman Sachs to hide the problem from the people of Greece, back at a time when it would probably be a little bit more manageable. And the government of Greece conspired with Goldman Sachs to conceal the scale of the debt, and in the process, the debt got run up even higher. Now, the Greek people didn't agree to that. The Greek government concealed it from the people of Greece as they made this deal with Goldman Sachs. So what it comes down to is the entire argument to bash the Greek people and force them to pay all of this is this ludicrous theory that the people of a country should pay the costs for criminal and incompetent actions by their bankers and their government. And that, of course, is complete and utter nonsense. One of the reasons things are so out of control in Greece right now is the Greek people did riot several times before, and every time they'd back down and say, all right, we'll accept it one more time. And so the government figured, yeah, they'll go for it one more time. Maybe it's not going to happen, because this is a death sentence for Greece.
Greetings, Greece. We are anonymous. What is going on in your country is unacceptable. You were chosen by your people to act on behalf of them and express their wishes, but you have derogatorily failed. You have killed the most sacred element your country had, and that is democracy. Democracy was given birth in your country, but you have now killed it. What an irony. Your own people hate you and you stare at them doing nothing to prevent that. You have joined the IMF against your people's acquiescence. You have so introduced a new dictatorship upon your people's shoulders and allowed the bankers and the monarchs of the EU to enslave them both economically and politically. They pay their government's mistakes heavily, and you made foreign people hate them for something they are not responsible for. What a shame. Police is taking advantage of its powers and attacks people who demonstrate in order for justice to be done.
We are anonymous.
They demonstrate against you, but you do not want their voices to be heard. You deprive them from their right of freedom of expression and of their right to live. Your arbitrary actions must be punished. By signing the ACTA bill, you are going to deprive your people from further freedom, and you are pushing them one step towards oppression. You ignored our warnings, and now we are in charge. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. You should have expected us. People should not be afraid of their governments. It's governments that should be afraid of their people.